Welcome to my latest battle report. This time we're fighting at the very edge, beneath the walls of this ruined industrial complex for Black Templars versus the end of all things. So we're doing Tempest of War with standard deployment, and there's 6 objectives down on the table, priority targets. What does that mean? We'll draw the secondaries from this deck here. And priority targets is you get 5 points for being on one objective and 10 points for being on more than your opponent, which is going to be a bit tricky because there's 6 objectives down on the table. And then at the very end of the game, you get an additional 5 points for each objective that you control. So it benefits the person who's still got lots of models left at the end, because you could be 60 to 45 down or up, and your opponent scrambles onto 3 objectives. It also benefits the person who goes second. Really like the terrain setup we've done here. This mat is from Urban Mats and that one's from P-Work. But all the scenery that you see that isn't Games Workshop is from GameMat.eu. And there's 2 objectives out here in the wilds beneath the crumbling, broken wallway. 1 right in the centre of the table over here, and then 2 back in the industrial zone on this side of the battle grid. Lots of large line of sight blocking terrain all over the place. This is going to get messy. So I'm here with Salt and Plays from Salt and Plays YouTube channel. Say hi, Salt and Plays.
Hi, Salt and Plays.
Are you enjoying the new data sheet changes?
Well, the data sheets haven't changed, the points have. And yes, I am, because I get to bring more toys to the same size games.
Many more toys.
Many more toys, yes.
And would you like to see many more toys? Well, let's have a word with our sponsor. Hello. Did you ever feel like you needed more of me in your life? Well, you can by becoming a Tier 3 channel member, which unlocks loads of extra content, and it's also a great way to support me. Right, back to the video. And here's 2,000 points worth of Death Guard. It's under 2,000 points. It's a single battalion, so I've got 12 CP to play with, because that's how you do CP in Tempest of War. And leading them into battle will be Fluffy with the Warp Insect Hive. That means he rerolls all hits and all wounds in close combat, Sultan, okay?
Yes.
And he's got Curse of the Leper and Smite.
So he's flaky.
So he's very flaky. And the Malignant Plaguecaster wandering around him behind him with Miasma Repessence and Putrescent Vitality buffing spells. He's also got the one, he ignores, Armor of Contempt.
Yes.
He's got the Warlord trait, forgot what it's called. But he ignores -1 and -2.
Yeah, I know
so
what
it's
you mean.
better Armor of Contempt. And he's going to be leading 14 Blightlord Terminators into battle.
One of Noble's numbers.
3 units of 7 Plague Marines into battle, and there's lots of different toys in all of these squads here, flails and plasmas and juicy things, oh my. There's a Las Cannon Hellbrute bringing up the rear, 2 Bloat Drones with their heavy Blight launchers, and then 3 of the Haulers there. That's 1 squad, all on their own.
Love it.
So a mainly infantry foot heavy list to slog through this ruined terrain. Death Guard, of course, ignore terrain when they walk through it. The minuses to movement. They've got -1 toughness all across the board, and then contagions is a thing. The closer you get to them, the less tough you get. And also, Blightlord Terminators have OBSEC. So I do have a lot of OBSEC options in here, but right now I'm severely outnumbered by the Black Templars. And this is 2,500 points of Black Templars, or was 2,500 points of Black Templars, and now it's just below 2,000 points.
Yeah.
Black Templars always re-roll advances and charges.
Yes.
And they've got a 5-up shrug to mortal wounds.
There's a lot going on with this army.
Because they really like heretics and things.
Yeah.
Also, you don't use the Tactical Assault Devastator.
You still get them, you just don't get a super doctrine.
You don't get a
vow
super
instead.
So the vow, what vow are you picking?
So I'm picking the one that you shouldn't really leave home without. It's the 5-up invuln. It's Uphold the Honour of the Emperor. So 5-up invuln, 1s and 2s to wound always fail, mini transhuman. Okay. And then I don't get cover as a result though.
Okay, so that's the negative.
Yeah,
so
the only unit that ignores the don't get cover is the big blob of Sword Brothers in the middle.
Okay.
Because they have a special rule.
Because that's what they do.
Yes.
Okay, so would you like to talk us through what you've got here?
Yes, this is a battalion detachment. It's being led by a Master of Sanctity on a bike, so he can zip around yelling at people.
Okay.
He knows 3 litanies. He's got Litany of Hate. He's got one that gives a squad an extra attack per
Right.
person, and he's got one that gives them a 5-up shrug to everything called
Nice.
Litany of something or something.
Litany of something or something.
Yeah,
That's
he's got
definitely what it's called in the book.
Yeah, Litany of something something. And they're all called that. He's got a book on his bike. There's one here and one here, and basically that means he can roll 2 dice.
Okay.
This is his relic. 2 dice for a litany, and pick the one that goes off.
Because he's got 2 books.
Yes, because he's got 2 books.
Right then.
That's my internal lore, anyway.
Okay.
The other thing he's got is the Warlord trait for a Master of Sanctity that allows him to do litanies on a 2. So the point is, he never fails his litanies.
So you're good at that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I have rolled 2 2s before when he's had 2 dice, so I've just made it go off on a 2.
Yeah.
To his left, we've got the Emperor's Champion. I've given him the Warlord trait of Master of Arms, which you're allowed to give him. He gets +1 to his attacks characteristic, and he can always fight first.
Really?
Yeah.
He's already pretty good.
Yes, he's pretty good now.
And he brought another chaplain.
For another chaplain, he's got the one that gives +1 to wound, Exaltation of Rage.
Okay.
That's his thing, and Litany of Hate. For troops, we've got a Shooty Crusader squad with the shotguns and 2 flamers.
Okay.
And this one's got the Relic Flamer in, that's the Strength 6 -2 flamer.
Right.
On the other squad, we've got another Crusader squad, the Choppy Crusader squad with 2 fists, no relics there.
Shoot squad, choppy squad, got it.
Yeah, Assault Intercessors in the backfield who are now 85 points, making them the cheapest Space Marine infantry.
Are they?
Yeah, they're so cheap. And the Sergeant's got a power sword for free. We've got 2 squads of Blade Guard.
2.
Yeah, one
2.
of which is, 2 5-man squads, 11.
Brilliant.
Don't leave home without when you're playing Black Templars. We've got one guy here who's a Champion of the Feast, which basically means he gets a extra attack, better weapon skill, a couple other little
Doesn't he
things.
get an extra strength and toughness or something as well?
He gets some stuff.
Basically, he turns into a mini captain.
Mini Lieutenant, I call him.
In the mini lieutenant in a group of Blade Guard veterans. You've got to get through them before you actually hurt him.
Yeah, so that's more just for flavour than anything, because I find he always misses anyway.
Okay.
Back behind, we've got 2 Impulsors who are now 100 points each with all the war gear. So they've got a multi-motor and a missile launcher.
And the Stormbolters.
And the
And a
Stormbolters.
5-up and vulnerable save.
Yeah.
And that thing's got a 5-up and vulnerable save as well.
Yeah, that's a Gladiator Valiant with an extra multi-motor, because Templars are allowed to take it. So there's 3 multi-motors and a twin Las Talon on it.
3.
Yeah.
That sounds
that
like...
has 10 shots doing D6 damage a time.
It sounds like...
Monstrous, yeah.
It sounds like too many.
Too.
You should rip 2 of them off. It's
You
very
should rip
scary.
them off. Don't touch my tank.
10-man
squad of Sword Brothers.
Sword Brothers.
Yeah, they're a bit like the Sanguinary Guard of Black Templars. They have 3 attacks. They have a choice of weapons. They're not as good as Sanguinary Guard, but they've got red cloaks. They're cool. I had to bring
red
them.
cloaks, okay.
Yeah. Chapter Ancient.
Okay.
So we can tell a squad in the command phase to get 2 up to hit.
Okay.
And he also has the Inspiring Banner and all that stuff. And then we've got a Judicia over here who tells one of your squads not to fight.
Brilliant.
Because he's cool, and we have Chaplains and Judicias and they work.
Okay.
And then a Redemptor Dreadnought.
That's a Redemptor.
Yeah, and an Apothecary.
Nice. So Redemptor Dreadnought with the... And that's got the plasma and the fist and stuff?
Plasma, Flamer, Fist, yeah.
Okay. So there's lots of stuff coming forward.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the transports. You've got buffs to all your fighting because your Black Templars, you really like to fight.
They love to fight.
And this should be nasty. Let's go into deployment. We're back after deployment, and after you go, I go deployment. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a multi-melter off on this side. The 3 haulers facing down the Gladiator Valiant. And 1 squad of, what are these guys? Tactical Swarm Brother dudes.
Crusader Squad.
Crusader squads. Why can't they just be tacticals?
Because they're not tacticals.
Brilliant, good answer. And apart from these out here and 7 Terminators that I'm holding in reserve, it looks like nothing is pressuring outside the wastes for the Death Guard. The rest of them are rampaging through the city. There's a unit of 7 Marines on this objective, a unit of 7 Marines about to run onto that objective, and then all the rest of my good meat is down here, along with Fluffy and some Terminators and another squad and the drones. And you've spread out across the line. You've got another not tactical squad here.
Yeah.
All your HQs there.
Yeah.
What's in the 2 Impulsors?
We've got Blade Guard and a Judicia in one, and Blade Guard and the Chapter Ancient in another.
So you got Blade Guard coming at me, Blade Guard coming at me, Redemptor Dreadnought coming at me, this horrible swarm down here. This game, it should be absolutely brutal. But who gets to go first? You got your lucky red dice, right?
Lucky red.
But they're black. You should have some black dice.
There's red bits everywhere, look at them.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, and I don't know any black dice.
You
I've got
get
a
a
5.
5. I get a 1.
I'm going first.
It's a Black Templars turn 1. Here are the orders for the Black Templars. No prisoners, kill as much as possible. Consult and kill 30 wounds worth of stuff in one turn. Maybe not. Bring it down, take on the biggest thing, which I'm going to select one of the haulers. So he's got to kill the other 2 haulers. That one will be tricky too. And get behind enemy lines into all of these are tricky. So the Black Templars have seized the initiative and jumped forward across this battle grid. The tanks are free to fire, and so will the Dreadnought back there. But most of the infantry are out of line of sight, or they advance this turn. Of course, it's an aggressive start from the Black Templars, and they have put themselves on 3 objectives as we go on to the shooting phase. Starting the shooting phase with the Gladiator Valiant firing at the haulers down here. So I spent 2 CP on belching fumes, and what that means is every gun that shoots at me reduces the shots by 1. So all those multi-melters instead of 2 shots become 1 shots, and the triple las on that becomes 3 shots as well. It might keep me alive, because I've nominated the last one at the back here, the Bring It Down target. And here's the las. And 2 of them hit, and wounding on, not that. And the multi-melters, 2 of them hit, 2 of them wound. I need invulnerable saves. I make an invulnerable save. And that 3 damage becomes 2 damage, and in the end you only put 2 wounds on, what's that?
Icarus Pod. So it's like I rolled D, it's D3 shots, I rolled that, so it becomes 1 shot.
Okay.
Hits, doesn't wound.
Brilliant. So the fumes belching out from the haulers prevent the shots from the Valiant doing too much damage to them. Now we're coming down here to impulsor number 1, firing at the Terminators, rolling to hit with the multi-misses, and one of them misses, and it does a wound. And then the missile streaks across the battlefield and hits and wounds, and
-3.
I failed a save. And it doesn't nuke one. It does do only 2 damage to the Death Guard. Then Stormbolters came in from the Impulsor, forcing 2 saves, and that Terminator is still alive. Now we have Redemptor or Impulsor number 3. Where are we going?
We're going to do the Chaplain first.
Chaplain.
It's the only thing you can shoot at.
Okay.
So 4 shots hit on 3s.
Twin link.
Twice.
It's twin linked.
No.
It doesn't wound. It's not twin linked?
No.
No, it's not twin linked.
Twin linked isn't a thing in 40k.
Isn't it?
No.
I've been playing so much Heresy. So Impulsor number 2 is firing at the same Terminators. Firing the Stormbolters first because one's on up wound and you might tickle him. You do tickle him, but he's still alive. So a multi-melter shot's coming in on 3s and wounding on that. And I make the 4-up invulnerable save. Here's the missile, which misses. Last thing left to fire then is the Redemptor Dreadnought. You're right down there. Is that the first drop dice?
Yes.
Well done. The Dreadnought is going to fire through the ruins into the Terminators one more time. You're not overcooking anything. It's just D6 shots.
2.
For 2 shots. And both of them hit. And both of them wound. It's only 1 damage, but 4-up invulnerable saves. And finally you do nuke that injured Terminator and tickle 1 more.
Icarus Pod.
Okay.
1 shot.
Right.
Hits. Wounds.
Drop dice.
-2.
-2 actually gets through. And I think it's a flat 2 damage,
Yeah,
which becomes 1 damage. And that is the end of the Black Templars shooting phase. Indeed, that is the end of Black Templars turn 1. They don't score anything at the end of the first turn. They have positioned themselves strongly for a turn 2 though. Let's find out how the Death Guard respond in their turn 1. My first 2 objectives are to extend my battle lines and deny the enemy the centre of the battle grid. I can extend my battle lines, but this one will not be possible because there's Black Templars all over the centre. And of course, no prisoners. Kill lots and lots of stuff. So in the Death Guard movement phase, they've extended their battle lines by holding onto this one here, taking this one here and holding onto their home one. And these Plague Marines have lined themselves up along with the drone to rain as much firepower down into the Black Templars as possible. I've got to damage them. I've got to make sure that my shooting phase is much more effective before the Black Templars, before they crash against my lines on this flank. And over here, yes, the Plague Marines are stepping forward. Even though there's Blade Guard in there, we need to take objectives. And hopefully I can crack it open with the haulers round here. But first, we have a psychic phase. My Malignant Plaguecaster, who's hiding down here in the ruins next to this drone, is going to try cast Miasma of Pestilence on this unit of Terminators over here, and I need a 6, and that passes. For 1 CP, the Black Templars can abhor the Witch. And you don't abhor the witch. You needed a 4 and you would have stopped that spell. The other thing I'm going to do is put Putrescent Vitality on this squad because they're about to go up against Blade Guard mainly. And that fails. Do I spend a CP? I don't spend a CP. We're coming across back here to Fluffy, who will smite the Impulsor. And that passes, and the Impulsor takes up wound, which you can shrug because you're Black Templars. We're going to start the shooting phase beneath the crumbling walls, and despite having that multi-amount of nasty tank of doom right there, I'm going to put all shots into the Impulsor, because otherwise you're going to get out, then it slows down your speed. I feel like that's what I should do.
I'm going to pop smoke.
You're going to pop smoke?
Yep.
So all the multi-missiles will hit on 4s. I still hit 3 times, and I need 3s to wound. And I wound all the times. 5+ invulnerable saves. And you make 2 of them. Right, on a 1-2, this is the one in the multi-melt range. It wasn't the one in the multi-melt range, so it's just a d6 damage for 4 damage. And then the 3 missiles come smashing across the battle grid, and only one of them slams home. And it wounds. 5 up save. Oh, d6 damage. For 4 damage. I think it's on 2 or 3 left. So on 4 left, let's overcook some plasma. There's a guy there with a plasma who keeps his finger on the trigger, and my sergeant who keeps his finger on the trigger, and they all hit.
No, one doesn't.
Oh yeah, because of smoke. 4s to wound. So 1 wound. 1 failed save. Puts it down to 2 wounds remaining, and then all the bolt guns forces 2 more saves, and it's down to 1 wound. Damn it. There's a blight launcher. I forgot the blight launcher. It's coming in as well. And it hits both of the times. I need 5s to wound. Drop dice don't count. That's 1 wound. 2 wounds! I do kill it. It does go kaboom boom. It doesn't go kaboom boom. But how many Blade Guard in there? 5 or 6?
5 and a character.
Okay, so 6 1s coming up.
Nope.
Only 1-1. So I got there in the end. The idea was to blast open the tank with all my anti-tank stuff and then rain in all the anti-infantry stuff. That didn't quite happen, so we'll get back to them in a minute. Let's move round to Impulsor number 2. I have a twin las cannon here, point blank range, firing for effect. And one of the misses. Oh no, reroll hit rolls of 1, it's core and it's next to Fluffy. They both hit. 3s to wound. They both wound.
1 goes through.
And it does. 1 damage, I'll command point that. For 1 damage, Zinch said no, maybe I shouldn't put any more fire into the Impulsor. So these guys,
we'll fire the Impulsor.
We're going to fire back into them because I'm Death Guard and that is a thing. Here is an overcooked plasma on my champion. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Where is he? Oh no, he's the only one that hasn't got a plasma. That's good. So I'll instead put that on the plasma guy. He's now dead.
He would have got an extra shot.
Yes. Then there's bolt launchers. Blight launchers, which reroll wound rolls of 1 because it's a plague weapon. So 1 at -2, 2 damage. I do take out a marine, and let's do a lot of bolt guns. And Death Guard always fire bolt guns twice at max range. And I said do. 3 wounds, 3 up saves. I kill another. That's really useful. Okay, so let's fire a heavy blight launcher at them as well. This thing has 6 shots and it hits on 3s, and I hit 4 times. It'll wound on 3s and re-roll 1s, and then -3, I want to say. 5 up in buns anyway, each doing 2 damage.
2 die.
So I'm pounding them into oblivion. I did line up this one as well, because he's in the ruin. He can see out of the ruin, and you pulled away the guy that I was going to shoot at. So he has to fire at the Impulsor. Okay, drone number 2 at Impulsors. Only 3 of them hit, and none of them wound. Let's do this squad of Plague Marines back here, all the way through into the Black Templars. The overcooking plasma on the normal dude hits and wounds and doesn't kill one. Then the bolt guns came in. Here are the saves. And that does kill 1. And then there is a blight launcher, which hits once and wounds once. And this will be a 5 up save or another death. Another death. How many were in that squad before I started pounding them?
10.
Wow. I've got them down to only 4 left. I feel like I should keep going. There's some Terminators here. They've got a blight launcher and lots of Yeah, yeah. And let's spend a CP on Vermid Whisper, so I'm hitting on 2s. Here's the Blight Launcher. And I can re-roll that. And you need 2 more 5. That's another 2 dead. Combi Bolt is shooting through the streets, forcing 10 wounds. And that's another 2 of them wiped out. And I said I needed to pound that squad with everything I have. And I've wiped out the squad. So that's an impulsor down. That's a squad wiped out. That is the end of my shooting phase. It does make some of the charging nastiness a bit less charging and nasty. I've still got a unit of Blade Guard in that impulsor and a unit of Blade Guard round here. And let's not forget the Redemptive Dreadnought can bang as well. And all the characters in this list. Last time I faced your Black Templars, actually, it was the characters that killed everything.
I don't remember.
I remember. It was painful. So we're going to charge with these Plague Marines into the Blade Guard. Would you like to overwatch with your Pew Pew pistols?
No.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not. And I think I failed the charge. I did fail the charge. They're going to get lit up anyway. So let's do Terminators into Impulsor. And that's a 6. If I'm 7 away, I'm okay. Because Death Guard are not slowed by terrain. Yes, we make the charge, and now we're going to smack the Impulsor with our bubotic axes. We hit him on 3s. I was thinking about Fury in the first thing, but I thought there's no way I could roll lots and lots of 2s, right?
What's the Nurgle equivalent of Fury of the First?
Vermid Whispers.
Oh.
I do. I said do again. 5 wounds, 4 wounds, 4 5-up saves. It's only 1 wound each, so that tickles. Oh. Drop those don't count. There's a sword on the champion. And he wounds once. That's a 5-up set. That's another wound. And then the Flail of Corruption. How many is left on
7.
it? 7 left. 4 hits, Owen. And reroll 1s. And that is 3 wounds. It's not enough to kill it. In fact, it loses 4 more wounds. It is on 3 remaining. It can rev its engines and try and run over one of the Blight Lord. We did the combat back with the tank and no wounds caused, and that is the end of Death Guard turn 1. I do get no prisoners, and I have extended my battle lines. So at the end of turn 1, the Death Guard are winning 10 points to 0. The Black Templars are on 3 objectives, and I'm on 3 objectives. Remember, you get 5 for being on 1 and 10 for being on more than your opponent, and then we're going to score all the rest at the end of the game. So Sultan only picks up 5 points on the primary there, but mind you, I'm only going to pick up 5 points on the primary, and I've put a lot of things in harm's way, and maybe ignoring this Valiant will come back to bite me in Black Templars turn 2. Here are the Black Templars orders. They still want no prisoners, kill loads of stuff, and defend their stronghold now, as well as take the tempting target, the objective that I have nominated. In the Black Templars movement phase, this unit down here is defending the stronghold, and the tempting target that I nominated was this one here, which I've got an OBSEC unit on. So this unit of Blade Guard, which got out of the Impulsor, have moved forward to try and take the tempting target. The Impulsor will not be able to fire because it has fallen back, making space for the Dreadnought and the Chaplain and another guy down there. Who's that other guy?
Him?
Yeah.
He's the Judicia.
He's the Judicia, so they'll probably be fighting last. At least my Terminator's a -1 to hit now. But with your litanies, you did some buffing on the Dreadnought. What did you do?
So there's Litany of Hate gone off over here for everybody involved.
So
and
everyone's
then,
re-rolling hits.
And then this guy, because it's a core unit, he can choose it. He's given the 5-up shrug and an extra attack.
Brilliant.
I do actually need to check the wording on that.
Okay, so we'll check the word. If it's infantry, you can't do it. If it's core, you're good. Round here, where the other Impulsor got blown up, we have the unit of Blade Guard about to attack the Plague Marines, and the Emperor's Champion have broken away from the Sword Brothers that he was following the thing with. What's your elf
It's
IC
core
Legolas?
character, not...
He's got an extra attack, he's
yeah.
got 5-up feel no pain on the dread.
Yeah.
Right, I like it. And it looks like the Emperor's Champion is going to bust forward and try and take on the Haulers, but he will not be unsupported. The other unit that was on this objective out in the wilds are coming around for a charge as well. So let's go on to the shooting phase. The Valiant is firing everything it can at the Haulers one more time, so I'm popping that strat one more time. So here are the melter shots. And this time, all of them hit. And only one of them wounds. 5+ invulnerable save. and I fail the save, this is d6 plus 2 damage, which becomes 3 damage. Would you like to command point that?
Yes.
Which becomes 5, which becomes 4. That one's down to 3 remaining. And now you have 3 Las Talons coming in. 2 hits. 2 wounds. And make a save. And that's one of the haulers done, which doesn't blow up. One of the haulers gets wiped out, and then they get lit up by small arms from the squad on the right and take 2 wounds as well. I think that's the shooting happening in the wilds. Now we're going to descend into the city. Beneath the broken gateway, small arms fire erupted back and forward from the units of Space Marines here, killing one of the Plague Marines that the Blade Guard are about to charge. And then down into the deeper part of the ruins, the Redemptor Dreadnought is overcooking its plasma, firing all of its guns at my Hellbrute. And it has 5 shots. And 3 of them hit. And 2 of them wound. I don't get a save. So that 6 damage becomes 4 damage. Then the Dreadnought fired its Stormbolter in, forcing 1 more wound off of the Hellbrute, and it didn't manage to make it save from the mortal wound that came through from overcooking the plasma. It also has got a flamer in its fist there, which managed to fry the wounded Terminators. Then we had some small arms shooting at the very edge of the battle grid, taking down one of the Plague Marines, and that is it for the Black Templars shooting phase. They've killed one of the haulers, they've killed a Terminator, they're killing some Plague Marines, but it's not in the shooting phase where they excel. It's in the fight phase. Before the fight phase, multiple charges occurred. Over here, this unit of Blade Guard jumping the barricade and going into the Plague Marines. We have a Dreadnought, a Chaplain, another Chaplain, and one of the Sword Brothers going into the Terminator squad. They couldn't fail. The Blade Guard veterans have gone into the Plague Marine squad beneath the walls, but the Emperor's Champion is too far away for a charge now. The last charge that the Black Templars need to make is a 9-inch charge outside of the walls into the haulers. Remember, they can re-roll as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what chainswords are going to do against a little hate snail, but we'll find out.
Tie them up. And that's an 8. Here we go for the re-roll. And that's
dice.
a failed charge. So now we're on to the fight phase. There's a Judicia down here next to the Dreadnought, so my Terminators are selected to fight fast. Fight fast, not fight fast, the opposite of fast. Yeah. They're caught in a time distortion, so Sultan's not picking there first of all. He's going to pick this unit of Blade Guard veterans right next to my objective, attacking the Plague Marines. The Blade Guard are hitting on 2s, because the Chapter Ancient told them to hit better. Strength 5, toughness 5, wounding on 4s. Is that only 3 wounds?
Yeah.
At AP minus 3, so I need 6 up saves. And it would do 2 damage, but 1 damage to Plague Marines, so only 1 and a bit of them gets taken out. There is a champion there, or someone else there that you can fight
with. Banner Bearer.
The Banner Bearer, you can go with him.
He hits on 3s.
Okay.
And a wound on 5s, or 4s even, but this is only 1 damage.
I'll make the save. Now I can interrupt. The Chapter Ancient has a sword, so there's 4 Plague Marines left versus the 4 Black Templars. Now, that tells me that these Plague Marines are over here might be able to survive these Black Templars as well. But I have paid to interrupt. Anything I can do to weaken them before they strike me. Spending a CP on Trench Fighters as well. I'm hitting on 3s. I'm re-rolling 1s because I'm right next to my Demon Prince. And because of the contagions of the Death Guard, your toughness is reduced by 1. Means I'm wounding on 3s, and these are 3-up saves.
1 dice.
And I take 1 down. Brilliant. So the Power Fist from Massage re-rolls 1s, hits once, wounds once, 4-up and vulnerable save.
Takes 2 wounds.
2 wounds, doesn't kill 1, they have 3 wounds each, but here comes the Flail of Corruption, and this will wound on 3s and re-roll 1s. So that more. 5 more 4+ invulnerable saves, each doing 2 damage. I take that second one out. Perfect use of a couple of CP there, reducing that 5-man squad down to 3. But now they can fight. So here's the Champion of the Feast. He hits on 2s.
Classic champion.
He won a feast, a duel.
Yeah.
Forced to wound. Only 1 wound. I don't make the save. That's 1 damage. Now the remaining Blade Guard. 3s. And 4s. is 4 more saves of 6 up. Sultan, that's only 1.5 Marines dead in this squad. Any other Marines, they'd be completely wiped out. It also won't force me to take a morale, and that's the tempting target. That was a beautiful use of CP. Have you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to fight the Dreadnought now.
Dreadnought. Yeah. Punching Terminators. The Dreadnoughts, hitting on 4s with lots of attacks, but re-rolling all... It doesn't need to re-roll. He doesn't need to re-roll the hits. He's wounding on 2s. Drop dice and count. 5 wounds. Now, each of these is D3 plus 3 damage. Each failed invulnerable save will kill a Terminator. Please, Tzeentch, hear my prayer. See, that's what happens when you pray to Tzeentch. You end up losing 3 of your Terminators. I could CP reroll one of them. But, yeah, let's do it. Yay, thank you, Tzeentch. Next up, the Judaseer on the right there strikes out. He hits on 2s. And he hits every single time, and he's strength high?
Strength 7.
Okay, 3s to wound. And the AP is nasty. And he takes 1 down to 1 wound remaining. That's the Judaseer, sorry. That's the Chaplain. Yeah, they all look... Similar. Okay, 3 more wounds. -1?
-2, it's a Crozius.
Okay, so... 1's dead, 1's down to 2 wounds remaining, and then the Smash Chaplain on the bike. He's hitting on 2s.
Technically, this has all been 3s, but with a reroll. So
oh, yeah.
3s.
Okay, and then wounding on
3s.
I'll make those saves. 2 Terminators still standing. Who would have thunk it? This guy here is your Warlord, right? The guy on the bike? So I'm going to hit him. Here is my champion. I'm out of fluffy range. It doesn't even wound. But the flail will, I'm certain. The flail of corruption will wound you. The flail wounds you 3 times. 3, 4 plus invulnerable saves.
What?
Strength 5.
Okay. It's 3 times.
Yes. And he only takes 2 wounds. The end of that combat. I lost 4 dudes. And 4 plus 5 is 9. The sergeant's still in there. They managed to hold. Oh, I remember the combat we needed to finish off. The Blight Lords over here hitting your Blade Guard veterans. When I said Blight Lords, I mean Plague Marines. Here's the normal Plague Knife attacks. And they wound 3 times. 3 up saves. One of them is injured. And then the Power Fist strikes out. And hits all the times. And wounds all the times. 4 up invulnerable saves, Sultan. No, it's 2 damage a time. So 1 will kill an injured one. 1 will kill another one. And then the flail hits 4 times. And wounds 3 times. And 1 goes down to 1 wound remaining. Because of the banner, on 4s they get to strike back. Nope. And I just remembered I need to take a morale here as well. I don't want to roll a 6. I don't roll a 6. And that is the end of Black Templars, a turn 2. They have got no prisoners, making it 10 points each, but they're really feeling the effects of losing Armour of Contempt here. And losing this charge round here is a biggie, because that still means I'm still on 3 objectives, which is good. You've got the Emperor's Champion, who is yet to go charging in, and these Blade Guard are no longer in combat, right?
Sure, yeah.
Because you pulled from here, but
I couldn't see them.
They're no longer in combat, but the Banner Bearer is in combat with here. You do have no prisoners, though. You have killed a lot of my stuff. Terminators are hanging tough, and Fluffy and the Hellbrute can go wheeling in now in Death Guard, turn 2. So now the end of all things, want to secure no man's land, get any 2 objectives in no man's land, get behind enemy lines, as well as defend their stronghold. So the order has gone out to defend my stronghold. So this unit of Plague Marines that were next to Fluffy have moved through to defend the stronghold, and the Malignant Plaguecaster is joining up with them. Meanwhile, Fluffy ain't a coward. He's coming around the side of the ruin, and he's going to go charging in against the 2 remaining Blade Guard veterans. That should be enough to defend my stronghold. As for secure no man's land, well, I need to hold 2 in no man's land. The drones over here are holding 1, and this time I'll put everything into the tank. And over here, this unit that fell back from the Blade Guard are holding the 2nd for secure no man's land. They fell back Still scoring it because the Dreadnought's going to go in. Hopefully that'll be the end of the Blade Guard. Fluffy takes rid of one unit. The Hellbrute gets rid of the other unit. As for the guys in the middle of the battle grid, well, I could have gone rushing forward to support them, but there is a lot of hate there. So they're just going to have to stand on their own. And I know that Sultan has Defend Stronghold in his hand, and I could have deep struck some Terminators back here, but there's a lot of hate back here. And those Terminators wouldn't last very long yet. There are 2 objectives up this side of the battle grid, which and less support for the Black Templars. So I've dropped in my second unit of Terminators back there. I don't get behind enemy lines because you need 2 units. But yeah, they should survive a bit longer and help me hold the breach to the city walls. Battle is on a knife edge now. Last turn, the Death Guard did a lot of damage to the Black Templars. Can they do it again? The first spell I'm going to cast is Curse of the Leper from Fluffy into your Blight Lords. And that passes. And I'm going to roll 7 dice, and every 4 or 5 puts a mortal wound on the Blade Guard. Not denying it. Here's Curse of the Leper. That is 3 mortal wounds, but you are Black Templars. And you don't shrug any of them. That actually kills one of them with mind bullets. Because of the banner, he pulled out his pistol and shot at Fluffy, and Fluffy fails the save and takes a wound. The banner coming in clutch there. Then the Plague Caster in here is going to throw out some spells to try and keep the Terminators alive. Here's Miasma them. They are miasmed. They are -1 to hit. Are you going to do that CP thing again?
Yeah.
You are. This time you stop it. So they're no longer -1 to hit. And I can make something tougher. I don't think making them tougher at all helps me. So I'm going to make the unit on the objective tougher because I'm trying to defend my stronghold with putrescent vitality. And that passes. That is the end of the psychic phase. Now let's shoot some guns. Twin las cannon, point blank range at these 3 Blade Guard veterans here. I hit both of the times. And I don't wound. They hold their shields high. Now I'm tempted to fire one of the bloat drones down into those Blade Guard veterans because they're not softened up for the Hellbrute yet. But the Hellbrute should be able to do it, right? It's a Hellbrute. 3 damage fist. Everyone that gets through kills a Blade Guard. Should be able to do it. So let's fire both of the drones across the battlefield down into this squad that's defending that stronghold right there. I'm going to do all the shots at the same time because they hit on 3s and wound on 3s. So 6 wounds come through. Here's 6 up saves on the scouts.
They're dead. And then 2 5-up saves on the other guys, so another one's dead.
Ooh. So the crossfire from the heavy blight launchers nuke out 5 of the squad that are defending the stronghold. Some Plague Marines down here, just a couple, could draw a line of sight to that squad and didn't manage to force any wounds. The last thing left to fire is the Haulers into the Valiant. Oh yeah, the Terminators. I completely forgot about them, thanks. Haulers into Valiant. Are you ready?
I'm going to pop smoke.
You're popping smoke again.
Yeah.
I hit 3 times with the multi-melters and wound twice with the multi-melters. So 5-up invulnerable saves. And this is D6 plus 2 at this range for 6 damage. And then there's 2 missile launchers and one of those hits and doesn't wound. The Valiant is on 6 wounds remaining, and now the Terminators unload everything into this not tactical squad down here. Hitting on 3s with all Macombi bolters. And a wound on 3s because of contagion range. We have 12 5-up saves coming up, each doing 1 damage. That's 2.5 down. Then the Blight Launcher hits both times and wounds both times. 5-up saves again. And that's
2 damage?
Yeah, 4 dead in total. That will probably make my charge crazy long, but might pull them off that objective if you take those 4 away. Then the Death Guard stop to rearm and reload. There are 6 in that squad remaining who are about to get charged by the Terminators on a 10. And that's a charge. Smash. They get charged from behind by a unit of Blight Lord Terminators, and suddenly things are looking very different out in the wilds. The Emperor's Champion is going to have to do some work next turn. But there was another charge as well. The Dreadnought needs to go in. He can't fail. He gets in. Now you're Blade Guard, so I'm going to start here with my Dreadnought. And he's taken a wound already. I think that means something when he hit wounds. But first I've got to hit you. And only hit you twice. Have to CP reroll one of them. Okay, 3 hits. Now, his fist will wound you on 2s, but because of frenzy, he rerolls 1s. Everything wounds. Failed saves will kill Blade Guard veterans. 4 invulnerable saves coming up.
So I'm going to do Vicious Riposte.
Right.
Which means on a 5-up, when they die, they do mortal wounds back. If I get 3 5s now...
But only 2 have died.
3 damage apiece, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 3. That was 3 went through.
But you got invulnerable saves, 4 plus invulnerable saves. You made a 4.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
So only killed 2.
Well, there's the Vicious Riposte then. You get a mortal wound back.
Brilliant. So 1's on 2 wounds remaining. Now you can pay to interrupt somewhere if you want to. The Hellbrute consolidates forward on 2 wounds remaining. And then the Black Templars, Sultan is paying to interrupt. He's got a couple of fists in this squad, which mean to hurt some Terminators before they attack. Here are the Power Fists. 4 of them hit.
3's to wound.
3 of them wound. You kill a Terminator, because that all becomes 1 damage each. So you do manage to take one out. Then all the other attacks. Power Axe on the Sarge. Hits all the times. Wounds on 3s. Wounds 3 times. And puts 1 down to 1 wound. Then the Chainswords. Hit on 3s. Wound on 5s. And in 30k they have Shred. They can reroll wounds. They're -1. You kill another Terminator. 5 of my Terminators remaining. That's a great last stand from those out in the wilds. Now it's my turn to fight, right? It's your turn, my turn. So I'm going to fight here because you've nominated the Terminators to fight last. So let's see if we can take down this banner bearer. I've got a fist on my champion, which hits twice and wounds twice. 5 up and runs.
Makes them.
Wow. And then 1 wound came through with a plague knife, 4 up save. Okay, so I did nothing whatsoever. And then off camera, you reminded me that Fluffy wanted to charge as well, the last remaining Blade Guard. Thank you for reminding me. So we'll do that now. I couldn't see him because I'm around this side of the building, you see. Anyway, he makes the charge. And then Sultan's pointing out all types of truths. Preach, brother. I should have gone with the Terminators next because then they charge.
My order is so confusing.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's we're sort of mixing it up a bit, but it doesn't change anything.
He didn't take any damage over there, so it's fine. It doesn't matter if he didn't fight.
So Fluffy versus last remaining Blade Guard. He hits on 2s and he re-rolls everything because that's what his Warlord trait does.
You know they took that away from Space Marines because it was too powerful.
And he would normally wound on 2s, but he's wounding on 3s because it's you. So you need to make 5 invulnerable saves and keeping that last Blade Guard around. And he gets cut down. Okay. So Fluffy did a thing, but he's somewhat out of position now.
Banner.
Oh yeah, Banner. Does he get to slash out? He gets to slash out.
He gets 1 attack and he misses.
That's because his arm got cut off. Yeah. Right, let's go with the Terminators. I have a Flail of Corruption. Never leave home without them. And these are wound on 3s. And that many 5+ saves. Take out 3 more. Swords come chopping in. These are wound on 3s, and these are AP -3, but 5 up saves because it's you. Oh, only 1 wound. Then the axe on the champion, and these are still 5 up saves. Actually, should have done them at the same time.
Kills 1, injures 1.
Kills 1, injured 1. So the big fight between the Terminators and the Sword Brothers out here. 5 Terminators remain. 2 Sword Brothers remain. Morale is going to be painful for them. We did the fight here between the Banner Bearer, Fluffy, and all the rest. We've done the fights over here between Hellbrute and... Have you fought back yet? You can fight back. Is he your champion of the feast?
Yeah.
With his bajillion attacks?
He's got 5 attacks.
With Shock Assault?
Well, he's charged, yeah, so 6 attacks.
Yeah. He could potentially take down that Dreadnought because it's only on 2 wounds remaining.
I need to get 2 through, yeah. And then 5s?
You get 2 through. I need to make 2 6-up saves. Or you kill my Dreadnought. Please don't kill my Dreadnought.
Don't kill your Dreadnought.
You don't kill my Dreadnought. It is on 1 wound remaining. Now, the Redemptor and all the things in the middle can stomp on the last 2 Terminators. He's still kneed up. And they're still re-rolling all hits. It shouldn't take long. Should it? 3s. Re-rolling everything. And 2s. Forcing invulnerable saves. The Dreadnought punches those last 2 Blight Lord Terminators to death. And that is the end of the fight phase in turn 2. Absolute brutality. We knew the Terminators were going to go. They've gone. But over here, we didn't expect that Blade Guard veteran to hang in there. And he's still hanging in there. We got some morale, however. Back in the corner, the ones defending the stronghold on a 4-5-6, they run. Are you sure you want to roll? Because that is worth 5 points.
Space Marines have sticky objectives now, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. You still got it no matter what. Yeah.
So they don't run.
They hold.
This guy lost 4 and he's leadership 9.
Yeah.
So 5.
Don't roll a 6, I think.
He's fine.
He's okay. And then the ones out in the wilds.
I think I just have to roll a 1. The leadership 8 and they lost 8.
Okay.
They run.
They run. Well, one flees
runs,
and
then the other guy runs.
No, because it's only on 1-2s for. So one flees, the other one stands, and we're no longer in combat.
You know what it should be though for Space Marines?
What?
Nothing runs.
I know.
Or 1s, 2s, no, nothing.
Or it always was reroll morale. That was their thing. And they no, and then
My Space Marines have shown a lot of fear in 9th edition.
I know, yeah. It's like, and they no penguins because they're in the Antarctic and that doesn't exist in Warhammer 40k. You even look like penguins, exactly. You shouldn't be afraid of the penguins. So that is the end of my turn 2. Let's work out some points and things. So I have secured my no man's land and you've defended your stronghold, making it 15 points to 20 in favour of the Death Guard. If I still hold my objective at the end of the Sultan's turn 3, I will defend that one as well. But it's been an absolutely brutal game. I've killed about half of the Black Templars already, but I had a lower model count at the beginning and about half of my army has been wiped out as well. Around here, the Black Templars still have their Impulsor, the Emperor's Champion. The banner is still stood there, staring right at a Demon Prince as he comes charging down towards them, plus another unit of OBSEC troops on this objective here. And in the middle, 2 Chaplains, a Judas Seer, an Impulsor, a Redemptor Dreadnought are all now free to split off like a firework and go right, left, and all over the place. And so murder amongst my lines, leaving this little unit of neophytes back here next to the sludge factory.
There's no neophytes left in that squad, I can assure you. They're all initiates.
Okay. Well, you can see the colour of this water. You can see what we're doing to this place. So now you need to suffer the alien. No, not the alien. The demon. Suffer not the demon to live.
Fart bombs.
Fart bombs. In Black Templars. Turn 3. The Black Templars pick up 5 points on the primary at the start of their turn, making it 20 points each. It's a dead draw. They need to raise a banner on an objective in no man's land and kill 3 things in the fight phase. And also grind the Death Guard down, kill more in the Black Templars' turn than the Death Guard are able to kill in their turn. In the Black Templars movement phase, the Valiant has turned around to deal with the Terminators that has just charged through and stolen that objective. And the last of the Sworn Brothers from that squad, well, he's going to go after the Haulers here. He has objective secured. If he lives and gets in combat, he will steal that objective off of me. Down in the mouth of the city, this squad of brothers, well, they're raising a banner, so that's 5 points. And there's the Emperor's Champion, and he sees a demon right in front of him. So there's only one place he's going, straight forward. Over here, Space Marines have sticky objectives now, so they've moved off of that one. We've put a symbol next to it, so we know that, so that you still score it. And the remaining Blade Guard has stepped back from combat with the Hellbrute, because there's going to be a lot of shots and a lot of hate coming in this way. Also, these Plague Marines that are defending my home objective right now, they could be in trouble from the HQ Chaplain and the Redemptor Dreadnought. But we're going to start the shooting phase out in the wilds with the Valiant. It's hitting on 4s because it's bracketed, but it can finally shoot everything. Down into the Terminators. Here's the multi-melters. And 4 of them hit. A wound on 3s. And it wounds 3 times. Invulnerable saves coming up. I make, 2 of them. So 1 is definitely dead. And then the other one... Sorry, that guy is definitely dead. And then if you roll a 1, you don't kill the other guy. You don't roll a 1. You kill 2. And now the last talons can go in. These will hit on 4s and they will miss.
Icarus. 2 shots. Hit. 3s. 1.
I failed that save as well.
This is 2 damage. It just does that.
That's 1 damage. And then there's some Stormbolters. No, you put the... No, not on that tank.
No.
No. Hero Sergeant, though, is flaming backwards before he goes charging in for 4 hits, which will wound on 5s.
Yeah, strength
And
3.
then -2 right now because the Assault Doctrine is in effect. And that sets that guy down on fire, puts him down on 1 wound remaining. There were 7 Terminators there when a deep struck in. We're only down to 3 now. You're doing a pretty good job. I thought they would withstand a bit longer. When we moved into the city, this squad down here can't fire because it's busy raising a banner, but the Redemptor fired everything up at my fetid bloat drone and only put 2 wounds on it. The Impulsor hasn't fired yet, but we're going to come down to this squad that was holding the back objective, firing everything through at the Plague Marines. Here's the bolt rifles, and one of them hits, and it does wound.
-1.
And doesn't kill the injured one yet.
So this is the mini flamer.
Right.
So D6 shots for 5. This will be -1.
Okay.
Strength 4, so 3 wounds.
Kills the injured fella. 1 dies. The flamer further back, though, can only hit the Dread. And that hits the Dread 6 times. It's strength 6 versus toughness 7. Only 5s to wound. But it is -2.
Yeah.
So I need 3 5-up saves. And that Dreadnought's only on 2 wounds remaining. And the Dreadnought's alive on 1 wound. No, it was on... Yeah, it's on 1 wound remaining. It's still alive.
Absorb a bolt pistol.
Okay. He hits. Doesn't wound.
Same again from the chaplain.
Right.
Hits. Wounds.
Does wound.
-2.
Dead Dreadnought. Which
Blowing at me.
it doesn't blow up, but the Dreadnought is down. Or the Hellbrute. The Hellbrute's down. Suddenly I'm running out of assets around this side of the battle grid. And talking about running out of assets, anti-tank weaponry coming in at the last 3 Blade Guard.
Stormbolt at first, though.
Okay.
1 on a wound. Maybe I'll get him.
Hits all the times.
5s. 1
Wounds
wound.
once.
If you could fail that, that'd be great.
You don't get him.
We'll do the crack missile. Misses.
Okay.
Then the multi-melter. Misses. Wounds.
Wounds
-4.
once. I don't get a save.
One's on 1 wound, so.
That will nuke the Blight Launcher, leaving 2 Terminators. 2 Terminators, 2 Plague Marines remaining. Couple more small arm shots, but no further damage caused. And that is the end of the shooting phase. The Black Templars are pushing forward round on this flank towards the drones, towards the remaining Plague Marines, and towards these Plague Marines that are defending this stronghold. The Redemptor Dreadnought wants to make a charge. So, good luck.
Thanks. He's made that charge.
He definitely makes it in. Mush. The Redemptor makes it there. Your chaplain needs a 7 because he's going to try and charge the Plague Marines, which you can re-roll because of Black Templars.
I've learned my lesson.
New dice.
That works.
That's a 12.
Always change dice.
Yep. And this guy fell back, but you can send in a couple of the troops as well.
Yeah, we'll send the Judicia in.
Okay.
I'm not sure what he needs here, but that'll maybe do it.
That's 5-inch charge if you're 6 away with the barricade. Yep, he does make it in. Judicia and Chaplain down in amongst my lines, along with the Redemptor Dreadnought. And then over here, you're going to charge with this fella.
Yeah.
I'm going to Overwatch, because if you make this charge and end up on that objective, you steal it off of me.
He's not going to do much here, so it's okay.
Multi-melters. I miss.
Rockets.
Rocket launchers. I miss.
He misses.
You
He's going to re-roll.
Yeah.
Because he can. Change dice, always works.
The last of the brothers go into the haulers. Now we're on to the Empress Champion. Trying to charge Fluffy?
Yes.
Nice.
Overwatch, nothing.
Oh yeah, he's angry. He goes charging in with the Empress Blade. That's the end of the charge phase. The Black Templars might have been taking casualties all the way across the line, but they're still charging and still charging. And we're going to start off with the Emperor's Champion. He's doing his overhand swing, but the banner bearer told him to hit better.
Yeah.
Or he's inspired by standing right next to the banner and flying in against this demon. So he's going to hit on
banner.
2s.
2s, and because it's a character, he re-rolls hits and wounds.
Brilliant.
So it doesn't need to re-roll the hits.
Okay.
Strength 8, toughness Fluffy.
7
so
with his
3s.
Warlord trait. And he re-rolls wounds as well.
Yeah, and I made a mistake. He has an extra attack. Which
Okay.
misses, re-rolls, and then the wound.
Which he re-rolls.
Wounds.
So that's 4 wounds. How much damage?
Some. 3.
3 damage a time.
Which will become 2.
5-up demon saves coming up.
Ooh, look at that.
Fluffy takes 4 wounds because he's a demon. And I'm not paying interrupt, but we're going to hit back there.
Yeah.
Because we want to see how this combat goes.
He's -1 to hit.
Right. So I'm going to hit you on 3s.
Parrying.
But I re-roll all hits because Walk Insect Hive. And I wound you on 2s.
No, 2s don't work in this army.
I wound you on 3s,
Yes.
re-rolling all fair wounds because that's what he does. So that's mini invulnerable save. Does he have an invulnerable
He has a
save?
4 artificer armor save, yeah.
Okay.
How much damage are these?
3.
Okay, if I fail 2, he's dead. He's dead.
Oh, unless you CP
I'm
re-roll
gonna
that, you can
1.1.
keep the Emperor's Champion alive. And he stands firm. He goes toe-to-toe with Demon Prince Fluffy. And next turn, we're going to go on to round 2 and see who comes out victorious.
Well, I get to fight first, but you're much stronger.
Yes, and yes. After that fight, we went up against this lone hero against the Haulers, and he put 1 wound on one of these bloat drones. Now we're going to come down to, where do you want to go next?
Redemptor.
Redemptor,
Yeah.
many attacks on the charge,
So 3s.
plus the extra hits on the charge. He's hitting on 3s, re-rolling all hits because of his litany.
His litany.
It was his litany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those chaplains. And then these
2s
will be
to
2s.
smush.
2s to smush.
I don't get a save because the assault doctrine is in effect, so you just kill 4 of them.
Yay.
I think I'll take from here, so you can't pile through the wall, being a big
These 2 over
vehicle.
here as well, because you're
Yes.
still blocking me then.
I'm still on the objective. Yeah, so there'll be 3 left in that squad there, plus the Malignant Plaguecaster. Then we came to the Chaplain and Judaseer versus 2 Plague Marines. You would have killed 5 Plague Marines, they didn't stand a chance. Now defenders get to fight first. So now it's round 2 against your Banner Bearer.
Good luck.
He should be dead. So let's make him dead with a fist, which wounds on 2s. 6 up save?
5 up. Well,
5 up save. He makes it. How annoying.
This banner bearer will not die.
I had to take the flail out of there, so the rest of the guys just have... Oh no, there is a flail there. Yep,
Yeah,
flail's in there. I didn't take the flail away.
Swingy stick.
Here's the play knives. Reroll 1s because Fluffy's right there. I'm wounding on 3s. 2 at -1.
That was those 2.
Okay, so he's on 2 wounds
3
remaining.
wounds left. I think he has 5.
Now the flail of corruption. I need 3s to wound. 5 up saves.
He's dead now.
I finally take him down.
I'll do something epic. I'll do only in death.
Well, on a 4 he gets to fight anyway
Yeah, but
because
then he
of
gets
the
all
banner.
attacks, won't he? It's a space marine thing. Only in death does duty end.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So 5 attacks.
Yes.
Hits on 3s. Wounds on 3s.
It's
-4.
a power sword.
Yeah. Because I'm in the assault doctrine, it's -1,000,000.
So it wounds on a 4,
Strength 5. Oh, yeah.
which puts a wound on 1
Oh.
as it gets cut down. So my Plague Marines tear down the Emperor's standard and then move forward towards this squad of brothers who just raised a banner on that objective over there. We're on a flag burning rampage over here. Dude, it's so cool. I'm hard. Did I say that out loud? Over here we're hitting this little fella on 3s, the last of the hero sergeants. I wound him on not 2s because you're you.
Yeah. You don't roll any 2s though.
But that many saves of 5 up because Armor Contempt is no longer a thing.
I dropped a dice.
Drop
He's
dice
dead
don't
either
count.
way. I still want to see if he saved that last one. He would have, but now he's dead.
It was a hero deal anyway. If he could stay there on 1 wound remaining, he would have stolen that objective off of me. But that is the end of turn 3. I don't have a morale to test here. I'm on these 2 objectives.
Doing there.
I do have a morale to test with these fellas down here. I lost 4 to that dreadnought. And another one is fleeing. And just 1 more is fleeing, which is good. I'm still defending my stronghold. And I don't think I have any further morale to take because you killed everything else. I mean, over here, basically from this side down into the industrial complex, it's crawling with Black Templars. It's been an absolutely brutal battle so far. I killed a lot of your stuff. But over on this side of the battle grid, apart from that drone over there, this is my remaining footprint. I'm running out of gun. I'm running out of bodies. The Black Templars have raised a banner. I've defended my stronghold, which means the game is drawn at 25 points each. I will pick up 5 points on the primaries, but let's see what orders I have remaining, which are going to be trickier and trickier to score as I run out of assets in Death Guard turn 3. I need to get Blood and Guts, kill 3 things in assault, attempting target, get the objective that the Black Templars nominate and bring it down. Take out that Redemptor Dreadnought. Right, in my movement phase, I'm trying to control the gateway to the city. I need to take out this Valiant, and that will hopefully keep my Terminators alive. Remember, Sultan did kill 2 whole units, and if I don't kill 2 whole units, he's going to get 5 extra points for grind them down. So that is 1 unit there. Here is another unit over here, the Emperor's Champion, who gets to fight first. But I've got some psychic power that's going to hit him.
No, he gets to fight first.
He gets, that's almost English. And the Malignant Paycaster's in the window there. So he can, hopefully I can smite you out of close combat. And that'll be 2 targets down. And that will stop you getting grind them down. As for Bring It Down, I can't kill that Dread. As for Blood and Guts, I can't get that either. But what I can do is get a tempting target by shooting at this last fella here. He's the only one within range of that objective, and that's the only one that you nominated, because there was no point in nominating this one. I'm already on it.
Yeah.
And this one, you knew I had lots of stuff that could rain fire down onto the one where you raise the banner. Besides, you know that I want to tear that banner down. So you're controlling the city right now. Down in my objective, there's 2 dudes and a Malignant Playcaster. But that Dreadnought, he's going to have to run all the way around here or all the way around there. He can't smash through. It's not 30k. You know, in 30k, you can go straight through walls.
I think it would be cool. I understand tanks not doing it, but it'd be cool if a Walker could just smash a wall down.
I mean, it's a wall, and that's a Redemptor Dreadnought. I think if you put them in a ring together, here's a wall versus a Redemptor Dreadnought.
Versus a Redemptor.
I can't see the wall making it out at round 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the size of a man.
Yeah.
Look. Man can walk through a wall.
Well, it says they have cutting tools and things like that, and they can open door. Anyway, that's 30k. I do prefer that sort of movement. The other thing is you don't have to worry about the board so much. You just move stuff where you want to move stuff.
I don't know. Using my brain.
Yeah,
I've used my brain in my real life, you know.
Well, in your real life?
Yeah.
You've got one of them? I thought you just had the 40k life. Just 40k life, where you just make awesome content for Sultan Plays, YouTube channel. You're an internet person now.
Apparently. Oh, I hate that. Didn't like that.
Let's put melters into the side of your tonk.
Oh.
And I hit it twice.
You're not doing sidekicks?
Oh, yeah. Well, I wound the tonk once. You've got a 5 up and vulnerable save. Then we're going to go back to the psychics.
I was going to do like pop smoke and everything, but we'll come back to it.
No. And this is 5 damage. 2 missiles. Both hit. One of them wounds. And you make the save, so it's actually on 1 wound remaining. Now we're going to get back to psychics. Fluffy is going to do Curse of the Leper on the Emperor's Champion. I'm going to give you leprosy and pox, and I pass my psychic test. Maybe? 7 dice, and on 4, so I'll do mortal wounds.
I'm going to try and deny it.
Okay.
4 up.
Okay.
Doesn't deny. This is Emperor's Champion.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, he's only got 2 little bits, and he's got 2 wounds left. 5s.
He's still around.
Got 2 wounds left.
He's hanging out.
Right, okay, Malignant Playcaster. I said I could see you through the doorway. So first, a cheeky smite. Remember with Pestilent and Fallout, if I cast this on a 5, that's an extra 1 as well. A 7, that's an extra 1 as well. I'm going to CP reroll that. Right, that's an extra mortal wound plus... Right, that is 3 mortal wounds in total.
2 5s. Come on, lad. He's dead.
He's dead.
Only in death does duty end.
Oh no, he's going to strike out at Fluffy. The banner guy's dead, so he's hitting on 3s now, but re-rolling because he is the Emperor's Champion.
Keep forgetting. He has an extra attack.
Why?
Because he has a Warlord trait.
All the attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. And then wounds on 3s, and then he re-rolls all of these as well. Re-rolling the hit and wound is my thing. So these are 4 wounds that come through. Fluffy is on 4 wounds remaining.
This is 3 damage, so 2 get through. You're gone.
So I need to make 3 5s ups is what you're saying.
Sounds like what I'm saying. Stop it.
Oh, Fluffy's alive on 2 wounds remaining. He takes the fight back from the Emperor's Champion. Round 2 is a victory to Fluffy. Next thing the Malignant Playcaster did was to throw out Miasma of Pestilence on this unit here because they're going to be somewhat exposed. Next turn. Can we go back to the shooting phase now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's fire lots of Stormbolters at a Valiant. It's a chonky tank. If I get one of these through at toughness 8 though...
It's -1 to hit
I
because it's
get
on fire.
to kill a Valiant. No, it's not. It's mine. So 6 is to wound.
Damn.
1 3-up save or death. Oh,
Choose
it's
to
alive, it's leaking, it's smoking, but it's not out of the fight yet. So through the breached wallway, this unit of Plague Marines are going to fire everything. at those brothers there. Let's overcook that plasma. Not on the champion. He's okay. Now the champion, he does have a plasma. Okay, right. Twos.
The threes, because of the thing.
And then...
I don't think that's come up once, though.
No.
5 up saves. Then all 3 die.
3 of them die. Blight launcher. Hits. Wounds. 2 more 5 up saves.
You killed the squad.
That's the squad. I wipe out the squad.
You know what I miss?
What?
Armor Contempt.
I miss Armor Contempt too. So that's that squad done. I'm holding this side of the battle grid. The Black Templars are holding this side of the battle grid. I will stop you grinding it down, but I need a tempting target. So Operation Kill the... Is this the Judicia?
Uh-huh.
Operation Kill the Judicia is in effect. I hit you 3 times with the drones.
That's what you need.
I wound you twice with the drones.
4 up invulnerable saves.
They're only in close combat. So he does take 2
What's
damage. Yeah, 4 up in close combat, 5 up in vulnerable save out of close combat because of your vow. So he's on 2 or 3 wounds left, and the next drone will have to try and finish the job. And I hit 3 times. It would normally wound on 2s, but I'm wounding on that. He's got to make a chunk of 5+ invulnerable saves to stay alive. And the reason why I can shoot him, by the way, is because characters don't block characters, and he's not within 3 inches of the dreadnought or anything like that. So I can pick on him. Anyway, you need to make 2 5-up saves to keep him alive.
Out of how many?
4.
He's dead.
Yay! At least I get a tempting target, because that's the only thing I'll score this turn. I'm not going to do any charges over there. I could charge the tonk. Let's charge a tonk. We easily make the charge. No CP left to overwatch. The swords go wailing in, and these will wound on 5. I'm knocking scenery over. We'll wound on 5s, and you need 6s or 5 up in buns. No, dead tank, which doesn't blow up, and I managed to clear the wastes. And that's the end of turn 3. We're heading towards the end game now. Turns 4 and 5. The Black Templars are only 5 points behind. I do get my points for tempting target, but they just need to kill 2 more units in close combat. And there's quite a few things that they can pick on over here. They have been relentless. They have been aggressive, and they've almost pushed the Death Guard out of the city. So let's find out what their orders are in turn 4. The Black Templars pick up 5 points from the primary, making it 35 points each, and they still want to kill 2 more units for Blood and Guts, and then take the field, take any 2 objectives for Secure No Man's Land, and 3 objectives and More Than Me for Battlefield Supremacy. The Black Templars move forward through the ruined industrial complex, and they have got Secure No Man's Land. Battlefield Supremacy, though, they need to get me off of this objective over here, and there's 2 Plague Marines and my Malignant Plaguecaster. Now, Infantry Beasts and Swarms can go through buildings. We're saying this bike can wheelie through that crack, that gap there, because it's cool. And the amount of scenery that I put down actually is very restrictive. I didn't think it through. Over here, you mean to kill my drone.
Yes.
And the Dreadnought means to go charging in against Fluffy. And you've got a couple of litanies off for him again. It's the extra attack
and the shrug, yeah, which is actually very strong on a Dreadnought. Okay. Yeah.
But not re-rolling all hits, that one.
Litany of Hate failed to go off, yeah.
And that guy advanced across to that objective. That's the second in command chaplain. But where would you like to start your shooting phase?
I don't know. We're going to start over here shooting at the drone, because that's all they can shoot.
Everything up at the drone. Beast Pyre is going in to the drone for 3 hits. And this will wound on 5s. And it's -2.
2 at -2.
And I take a wound. And then the other flamer hits 5 times. And this is a Pyre Master?
Pyre Blaster.
Pyre Blaster.
So maybe 5s as well, actually. But this is the different AP.
But this is -1.
1 at -1.
I'll take another wound. It's on 7 left.
2 bolt guns.
Then bolt weaponry came through onto the drone, and it's on 6 wounds remaining. Now we're moving across to here to the Impulsor. You've placed it perfectly so it can shoot through that crack over your Warlord's head and into my Malignant Plaguecaster, and all the guns are firing for effect. But it's hitting on 4s, it's smoking and leaking oil. Here's the multi-melters.
Missile launcher.
Misses. All the anti-tank weaponry failed to hit the Malignant Plaguecaster, and the Storm Bolters failed to wound them as well. cover being a thing. Now the chaplain right in front is firing at him, and he misses every single shot. Oh dear. You can see him with the dreadnought. Yeah, you can see him with the dreadnought. If you wanted to.
Let's finish.
I don't know what else the dreadnought was going to fire.
He was going to maybe shoot at the drone that's hanging out at the top.
Well, you've done that a couple of turns in a row and not really hurt the drone.
The Icarus pod will still go into it because it will get +1 to hit.
But overcooking him into the Malignant Playcaster might be the way.
Might be the way.
As long as you don't roll low.
So this is
you roll low. CP in that. For 6 shots, perfect use of the CP. Back to 0 CP. Hitting on 3s.
Takes away the wound.
Okay.
This is twice.
I'm wounding on 2s.
Wounds 3 times.
AP bajillion. But I am in cover. I don't know if that helps me. It does help me, but your 3 damage gun goes down to 2 damage gun, which causes 4 damage, and Malignant Playcasters only have 4 wounds. So he's nuked. And your Dreadnought takes a mortal wound because of the overcooked plasma thing.
I should have shrugged. I tried to shrug the other one at the beginning of the game as well.
Okay.
No. So
no.
it meant to.
But you do wipe out the Malignant Playcaster, leaving 2 Plague Marines stood on that objective alone. Icarus pod from the Dread fired up at the drone, put a wound on him. That is the end of the shooting phase. So first you want to charge the Chaplain wheeling through that gap there. You need a 4, but with a reroll. That's a 4, you don't need a reroll. And your Dreadnought needs a 5 to get Fluffy from behind. And he goes flying in as well. And the last of the Blade Guards is charging the drone.
Yeah.
Basically to stop the drone shooting at him so much. And he goes in. Multiple charges again by the Black Templars. We're starting the fight phase with the Redemptor Dreadnought against my Demon Prince Fluffy. 6 attacks now with the buff. Hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. And he wounds twice. Now, 5 up invulnerable saves. Just one of these getting through could potentially kill my Demon Prince, but no CP left for you.
Good luck.
And I managed. Fluffy's taking it. He's taking an Emperor's Champion,
I can't be
dude.
happy about it. I can't even pretend.
That's gorgeous. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt anywhere. I could interrupt. I have got Power Fist here, and I've got 4 CP over there, and that is your Chaplain. Yes. Let's. Okay. I hit you with a fist once, and I don't wound you. And then the other guy hits twice, and wounds you once. And he makes him bleed. Gives you a taste of my Plague Blade. Plague Blade? Knife. Chaplain raises his Crozius. He hits on 2s. And he wounds on 3s. I need 5s. And you don't storm the hostile objective. I'll have a sergeant there, champion equivalent, on 1 wound remaining. That will stop, not storm hostile objective, battlefield supremacy. We did the fight between the Blade Guard, Champion of the Feast. He's taken a wound. The drone is down to 3 wounds remaining. And now Fluffy gets to fight one more time. He raises his massive sword and smacks that Dreadnought on 2s, re-rolling. And he'll wound on 3s, re-rolling. And the Dreadnought needs to make 4 6-up saves.
5 up saves.
5 up saves. Oh yeah, you're in bun.
Yeah.
6 damage becomes 4 damage.
Which book I get to shrug on 5s. Shrug 2 of them. 3 of them, so take a damage.
Wow. And then the claw hits, wounds. That is a 5 up save. And this is 2 damage. And my demon is unable to wound the Redemptor, so that fight continues. The Redemptor's on 10 wounds. My Demon Prince on 4 wounds. Holding firm. Doing his best Gandalf impression.
I'm not sure what you were trying to say.
I know, I'm getting
Like
excited.
Gandalf and Valrak.
You shall not pass. Holding the gap there. So you don't kill any more for blood and guts, but you do pick up 5 points for secure no man's land, so you're 5 points in the lead. At the start of my turn, I'm going to get 5 points for being on all these objectives, so it's 40 points each. This game is as close can be.
It hasn't felt even, but somehow here we are. It's match.
It's just, it's been
tides of war.
It's a slugging match, man. It's an absolute slagging match.
Do you know how? A what match?
A slagging.
Do you know how stressed I've been this entire game?
How stressed have you been?
Incredibly.
The Death Guard need to grind the enemy down. We're good at that. Assassinate, kill one of those many characters and raise a banner. So as we've trapped them in the city, ready to drop nuclear ordnance from the battle barge up above, this unit of Terminators are raising a banner. And now I need to assassinate. And there is a chaplain stood there. So there are Blight Haulers that are going to shoot in at him, and all the guns and all the charge from over here. And in case that doesn't work, there's another character over here. The second chaplain, your warlord. He stepped back out of combat, but the drone can fire in. Before all of this, and that drone is going to fire into your champion of the feast. Before all of this, Fluffy must smite. Fluffy fails to smite. That's fine, I can do it with a sword. It's fine. Now we're going to shoot some stuff. Let's shoot this heavy blight drone into combat and kill this champion of the feast, because he did far too much damage to me. I hit him 4 times. I would normally wound on 2s, but I'm wounding on 3s because of your thing. And they're all 5-up saves, doing 2 damage.
4-up invulns. Made 3.
He's a boss!
He's still hanging in there.
He's an absolute G. Okay, I'll try and nibble him to death with my claw. Let's go over here to drone number 2, firing at your chaplain.
Yeah.
Would he like to jink?
I don't think he can.
No, he can't. 2s become 3s, reroll 1s. So those are 4+ invulnerable saves.
I make 3.
He takes 2 damage. How many wounds is he on left?
2 left now.
Just 2 left.
He's struggling.
It's 2 left. Okay, right. The haulers have to shoot that chaplain there. He stood out on the open. He ran onto that objective. He's asking for it. So let's put multi-melters and missile launchers and everything into him at the same time, because it all hits and wounds, and it'll all force 4-up invulnerable saves. So we're hitting on 3s and we're wounding on 2s, and he's got 6.
He's got 3 because 2s don't wound.
Oh yeah, he's only got 3.
Transhuman. That's the first time this entire game is actually.
No, I saw a couple. I caught a couple earlier.
First time I've noticed.
4s.
He's probably going to die.
2d6 damage, no CP to play with. He might live. No, he gets boomed. He gets evaporated by the haulers. That's it for my shooting phase. I'm running that gun. There is this unit here that we're going to shoot at him. How many wounds is that tank still on, the Impulsor?
3.
So there's the overcooked plasma guy on 1 wound remaining. And he's still alive. And it doesn't wound you.
He's alive though.
There is a blight launcher which hits and does wound you. These are 5-up saves or dead tonk.
Dead tonk?
Dead tonk, that's 4 damage.
Doesn't blow up.
We haven't had enough explosions this game. There should have been more explosions.
There's just been a lot of whimpers instead of bangs, right?
Now we're on to the fight phase. Defenders get to fight first.
Dreadnought!
So Fluffy can hit your Dreadnought. Oh no, you're the defender. So you get to hit Fluffy.
And you get to hit my champion.
You've got that extra attack still, right?
He's got 6 attacks, yes.
Well, you didn't charge, so 5.
He's got 5 attacks. 3s.
Uh-oh.
2s.
Alright. Okay. Each of these doing D3 plus 3 damage.
He's great at these 5s.
I've got CP over there. Here's the 5-up saves. And here's a CP. There's no point.
It's 4 damage.
Because it's minimum 4 damage. So even if these get through...
Do you frenzy? Is that a thing?
No. You've managed to take out my demon prince.
Kick him in his stupid face.
He's not got a stupid face. He's got a lovely face.
I love it when you turn around.
Look what Rob Not Steve did to this. He's got a lovely face.
He's got like a little black tongue.
You know Rob Not Steve paints for marchofwar.co.uk now.
Does he really?
Yeah, they're part of the commissions that they do. So in fact, all my Death Gun army are now painted by marchofwar.co.uk. What are you doing?
I'm just pushing my dreadnought towards you guys. He's going to consolidate, take advantage of everything.
Drone then against your Blade Guard champion.
Yeah, you can't hold 2.
Master of the Feast on 1 wound remaining. I hit him once.
Ooh.
And I don't wound him. See, that would have wounded you normally.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got his 5 attacks.
4, 5 because he's...
Yeah, he's a sergeant with the...
2s.
And 5s.
That's the hard part. -4, yeah.
I make the same. They continue to lock up. So you don't score that one. One minute. I did raise a banner, but we just remembered rules and things. You can heroically intervene into this Plague Marine.
Yes.
Which you've done.
Yeah.
So you get your extra attack for shock assault for 5 attacks.
So he hits on 2s.
And hits. Wounds on 3s.
3s, yeah. 3 wounds, -2.
He's dead.
Hooray.
Don't take the objective. I'm contesting it, however.
Just stop you having it.
So at the start of your turn, you're going to be on 1?
1.
Just 1 objective.
Yep.
But that's still worth 5 points.
The end of the game is what matters.
And we're going on to turn 5. And for every objective you're on at the end of the game, an additional 5 points. So at the end of that last turn, I got 5 points for raising a banner. You got 5 points for blood and guts and another 5 points on the primaries. It's 50-50, Sultan. It's 50-50. And now you've done lots and lots of slaughtering. The order goes out to take the field. Take any 3 objectives and more than me. Take their home objective and 1 in no man's land. And storm an objective that I control. If Sultan plays it right here, he can max out his secondary. The Death Guard hold the city walls and the Black Templars try and clean up in the city. If the chaplain manages to kill the drone, or the dreadnought manages to kill him, or this unit back here that has come all the way from your home objective to charge the other drone, manages any of them, that storm hostile objective 5 points. Because the champion of the feast, his blade army is weary, he's taken a couple of steps back. And that drone is only on 3 wounds remaining.
Yeah.
So that will be storm hostile objective. It will also be extend battle lines for 10 points. And if you end up on 3 and more than me, you'll get the max 15 before we head into turn 5. So this is all or nothing. So, and where are we starting first?
Well, we might as well shoot here.
Okay.
The chaplain's only hitting
You've
one
got
thing.
all your litanies off and stuff, and you did spend your new CP on Wisdom of the Ancients, so your Dreadnought can charge. I
Yes.
reroll hit rolls when he goes in there of 1.
And shooting and all that, yeah.
Yes.
So this is the chaplain shooting, so 3s, and then 5s.
Okay,
1
1 wound on the drone. He's down to 5 wounds remaining. And then you said you were going to fire,
And
apart
put
from the
Icarus pod
flamer.
and the big gun in here.
Okay.
The storm bolters and flamer into there.
Brilliant.
I just want to whittle him down. If I can get down to 1 wound, then I
Okay.
know the Croziers can't fail all the time. So this is the big gun, overcharging naturally.
6 shots, just when you needed it.
Yes.
The Emperor is hearing your prayers.
Yes. 3s rerolling 1s. There's
Because
a
of
1.
Wisdom of the Ancients.
Everything hits.
And 3s.
Strength 9. There's
4
4
invulnerable
and
saves. Coming up.
Wow.
And I make every single save.
Icarus pod. For 3 shots. 2s, rerolling 1s.
Because it can fly.
Yeah. And then 3s. That many at -1 or 2, I forget.
Well,
It
2
doesn't matter.
damage becomes 1 damage.
So he's down to 3 left now.
3 left, softened up for your chaplain.
Flamer into the lads in front.
Okay,
D6 shots for 2.
okay, try and burn that smell away.
3s, nothing.
No wounds.
And then the storm bolters into them too.
Okay, this is critical. Because if there's 1 left there,
Hmm.
standing on that objective, storm bolters hit 7 times. Wound on 5s. Wound 3 times. 3 up saves.
Yeah.
You do kill the injured fella. There's only 3 left in that squad, which might make that combat doable. Last thing left to fire, because there's nothing left. The dead piles over there are crazy. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 units left. That's all you got.
Yeah.
But I've got about 4 or 5 units left as well. Anyway, you're going to flame the crap out of the drone.
Yes.
Beast Pyre. 3 times. This is the pimped Pyre Blaster.
Yeah.
Which
Still
hits...
5s though.
Okay.
1 -2.
I'm okay.
Normal flamer.
Well,
6 shots.
Pyre Blaster ain't a normal flamer.
Better than a normal flamer.
It's larger than your average flamer.
Yeah. 2, 3.
3.
-1.
4 up saves. The drone's on 1 wound remaining.
Can I choose to cease firing there? Because if I don't make that charge, I don't get the...
Well, if you kill it, you
Oh
get
yeah,
it.
he's on the
You
objective.
still get it.
Let's
You would have
continue.
stormed that hostile objective by falling back off of
Instant
it.
bloody panic.
Yes.
I've just realised, Witness, I've been doing this wrong the entire game. These aren't bolt rifles, these are auto bolt rifles.
Okay.
So they get an extra shot but a minus AP.
Okay.
Don't know if that's affected too much.
Well, if you've been using them as bolt rifles all the game, let's keep using them as bolt
Yeah,
rifles.
normally the data sheet says auto bolt rifle.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, let's do them then.
Sorry, there's no AP there.
There's no AP.
The AP was the big part, not the extra
I think
shots.
you've only taken 1 wound off that drone the whole game, and
them,
you would
yeah.
have probably taken 1 wound off the bolt. Yeah.
So you get 3 full saves.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about that.
Dead drone.
Dead drone.
Unless a
Well,
CP it, there's no point because you charge, you storm the hostile
Sword
objective
Brothers
anyway.
Hungry, yeah,
They blow up
on that.
on a 5, and it does a mortal wound. A 5 up on
Come
the
on,
champion.
He's alive.
The champion of the feast manages to take the
The
explosion
other squad takes it too because
of
they're
filth
righteous
that-
fury. Yeah.
that splashes over them. You have stormed a hostile objective That is the end of the shooting phase. I can't believe that
This game
he
has hurt my
survived.
brain.
He survived such an amount of combat there. He stepped forward into combat and stepped out of combat twice. But he is the champion of the feast. So you've extended your battle lines and stormed a hostile objective. If you kill either this unit, which you've just charged with the Dreadnought, or my drone, which you've charged with the Chaplain, you'll get all of them.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with the Chaplain because he can probably hold off against those attacks.
It's a bold plan, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
5 attacks.
Yes.
2s.
Yes. Rerolling everything because you got your thing. You
I
managed to hit.
Didn't do Litany of Hate.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh.
You gave it all to the Dreadnought.
Ah.
And then this will be 3s.
5s. I'm toughness 7. You're strength 6.
Oh dear.
2 wounds.
You're going to live.
I am going to live because it does a minimum 2 damage, which puts the drone on 1 wound remaining. Well, the 2 damage comes 1 damage.
Yeah.
So it comes down to the Dreadnought to get you a full 15 points. Good luck.
3s rerolling 1s.
Okay.
So there's a 2.
Okay. 2s.
No reroll required.
Now, it's AP minus 4 because the Assault Doctrine is in effect.
Yeah.
Each of these is a minimum 4 damage. You pound them
Smooth.
into oblivion. And that is the end of Black Templars, turn 5. Then I remember the drone fighting back, and I managed to hit and wound 3 times against your Chaplain, who needs 4-up saves.
Or death. He chooses death.
Because he's only on 2 wounds remaining. Which means
Yep.
you don't get Battlefield Supremacy. Because you've got to be on 3 objectives and more than me, and I'm on 1, 2, 3. So you get 10 points on the secondaries. Plus you're on 1, 2, 3 technically at the very end of the game. I need to find out what the points are before I draw some cards. Right, so on your score at the moment is 60 and I'm on 55 after my primaries, okay? And then you're probably going to get 15. So you're 5 points in the lead. And I need Battlefield Supremacy, any 3 and more than you. Getting them more than you is the tricky part.
Yeah.
I need storm an objective that you control. I could technically move forward with them and advance and charge, and then I outnumber you on that one. And investigate site, do an action within 12 of the centre, and there's no enemy units within 12 of the centre. That objective is on the centre. So I have to storm a hostile objective. So I advanced forward, storming that hostile objective. 60 points each. Then at the end of the game, you'll get 5, 10, and I'll get 5, 10, 15, and win by 5 points without even pulling the trigger. And the reason why I'm not pulling the trigger is not because I don't want to hurt the Black Templars and punish them. The reason why I'm not pulling the trigger is because I've got a drone on 1 wound, a couple of Terminators over here, and one's on 1 wound. I've been pounded and pounded hard this game. I'm feeling sore right now. So I think I've run out of guns. I think I've run out of charge packs. I think I've run out of ammunition. It is a victory, but only just for the end of all things, as we pay a heavy price in pus and blood and oil, trapping the Death Guard, not the Death Guard, the Black Templars inside that city there, pulling back to the walls, so we can rain fire from the skies and destroy you utterly. And this is the way your world ends.
I'm guessing the Dreadnought just can't be bothered to take a step.
Well, it rushed forward. They'd taken the things and they did it like that. And then the call goes out, no, we've won the conflict. So then we can retreat back out of there. It's like, no, don't hold this city anymore.
If I had a
cursed brothers.
CP left,
Yes.
I could have done devout push into you.
Could you?
Yeah, and then we had
That's
to fight.
that's a shame, that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, 5+ invulnerable saves and all the shots and all the
Did you
things
just
that
do
have been
yourself
okay.
15?
Yeah, 5, 10, 15.
Oh, I thought you counted that one.
No, because I stole that one off of you. But it was a close game. What are you thinking about Black Templars without Armour of Contempt?
Weak. Like, as in weak to fire.
You had 500 points more, though.
Yeah. It made it a closer game, but I think I'd rather have Space Marines be a more elite army rather than a horde army.
Yeah, yeah.
I had more models than some Imperial Guard forces.
That's because they bring all the tonks.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely brutal game, though. We've both got only 3 units left by the very end. So it doesn't get more brutal than that. And there's only 5 points in it. So it doesn't get closer than that. So all of this glorious scenery and things is from gameout.eu. We do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Check out Salt and Plays and Salt and Plays YouTube channel. Say happy wargaming.
Happy wargaming.